أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. My respected young brothers, my young friends, my elders, and my mothers and sisters, I've recited at this very moment before you a very brief verse from Surah Al-Mu'minun, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressing His messengers, the prophets, and He is commanding them to do two things. Every prophet was enjoined by Allah to do two things. Number one, to eat what is lawful, what is halal, what is permissible, and to act righteously, do good deeds. Ya ayyuhar rusulu khulu min at-tayyibati wa'malu salihan. Allah is saying, O messengers, eat from the good things, meaning eat lawful things, halal things. Wa'malu salihan, and act righteously. Inni bima ta'maluna alim. Of whatever you do, I am fully aware. In this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has combined the command of eating halal with the command of doing righteous deeds. The hint is, when a person eats halal, when the morsel which slips in his stomach is halal, is permissible, then the amal which will issue forth from his body will be righteous amal, righteous acts. And this is the fact, and this is the reality. The one who eats unlawful things, then the amal which will issue forth from his body will be bad deeds. So in order to do good and righteous deeds, the remedy is that we eat halal. The halal, the lawful eating, has an impact on a body. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the verse, He commanded, every prophet in his time was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do two things. Now this command is not restricted to the prophets. Now the prophets, they were innocent. They were innocent. We can never think of a prophet eating unlawful things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded every prophet that, O my prophet, O my messenger, eat halal, eat what is lawful, and do righteous things. Now, we who are the followers, we need to pay more attention to what we eat. And we need to make sure that what is going into our stomach is halal, is lawful. And we should at all times avoid eating unlawful things. Don't you see the Surah Al-Kahf? In the Surah Al-Kahf, the story of the men of cave have been mentioned. Those 7 young men who fled from the cruel ruler, and who was idol worshipper, and he was forcing people to do the worship idols. These 7 young men, they got together and they said, we can never do this. We can never bow before anyone besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In order to save their own iman, they fled the city and they took the shelter and the cave and the refuge of a cave, and they hid there. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them sleep there for 300 years, more than 300 years. And after they woke up, they looked at one another and they asked one another, for how long we slept here? Some said, oh, we just slept here half day. Some said we slept here for a day. Now, in reality, they slept there for 309 years. And when they woke up, they sent one of their men and they gave him the money, because when they set off from their homes, when they fled their homes, they took some money with them and they had those silver coins with them. And they said to one of the men, they said, فَابْعَثُوا أَحَدَكُمْ بِوَلِكُمْ هَذِهِ الْمَدِينَةِ فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَيُّهَا أَزْكَى طَعَامًا. They said, look, one of you should go and buy some food. And he said, the one who will go, he should make sure whatever he brings, it is pure, it is halal, it is lawful. Why did they say this? Because at that time, the animals which they used to slaughter on the name of idols. And any animal which is slaughtered in the name of idols and it is sold, the meat of that animal is haram, is unlawful. So they said, these young men, these righteous young men, they said, look, when you go to buy the food, you should check whether it is halal or not. If it is the animal, if it was slaughtered in the name of idols, then avoid it, don't buy it. What do we learn from this? The lesson we learn from here, and the Ahl Tafsir, the commentators write under this verse, they say, it is compulsory for every person who goes to a restaurant, or who goes to a takeaway, or who goes to a grocery shop, or any superstore to buy something for himself to eat. He needs to investigate whether this is halal or not. Now let me tell you, now I'm not saying the takeaways and these restaurants in the selling haram. No, I'm not saying this. What I'm trying to say to you, in our slaughterhouses, in the chickens which are slaughtered, they are stunned. They are stunned, which means some chickens, prior to slaughtering, they die. They die. Now, if there is a bunch of 100 chickens, then what will happen? There is a possibility 10 of them have been already, they were dead before the slaughtering. So in those 100 chickens, there is a possibility 10 were dead. So this 100 chicken become doubtful. Now, alhamdulillah, in Britannia, in England here, there is a body who has been organized to check what's happening in the slaughterhouses, and this is HMC. This body of ulama ikram, from most of them from Darul Bari or from other institutes, and these ulama, they have a staff working under them, and they go to slaughterhouses and they check, and all the chickens in their presence. The chicken which are slaughtered, they put their own label. This chicken, has been slaughtered without stunning, without any doubt, you can eat it. This is halal. Now, we need to make an investigation. There are, I think in Leeds, there are only about 1 or 2 takeaways which are HMC certified. And I'm not saying the other ones are selling haram. You need to go and ask them, because in some grocery shops, they don't have the HMC label, but their chickens are HMC. So some they are certified. You don't have to ask them. They sell the HMC. But some you have to ask them whether these chickens are HMC or not. If they're not, then they are doubtful. So in this, under the verse of this Surah Kahf, the ulama are saying we need to investigate what we are buying. Why? Because Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sa'd bin Abi Waqqas, there is a very interesting story of his becoming Muslim. When he embraced Islam, his mother, she protested against Islam, and she was really annoyed with her son. Why did he accept Islam? Why did he embrace Islam? And she protested. And in order to make her protest very effective, what did she do? She went on hunger strike, and she said to her son, he said, look, Asad, I'm going to go on hunger strike. I'm not going to eat. If I die in this state, people will taunt you of being a killer of your mother. Now, she wanted her son to give up Islam, but the son, he was a true and he was a loyal companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He in the initial stages, he tried to explain the mother. He said, look, mother, I've embraced Islam. This is the true religion, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who should be worshipped. And the idols, they can't do nothing. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's a true messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He explained and he convinced her, but she wouldn't listen. And she said, no, I'm not going to eat. He said to his mother, please eat. She said, no, if I die, people will taunt at you and people will say, no, this son is a killer of his mother. So he came to such a state that mother wouldn't listen to him. Now then he said to his mother, he said, oh my beloved mother, listen, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given you 100 lives and each life was taken out right in front of my eyes, I would still not give up Islam. If you want to eat, eat. If you don't want to eat, that's up to you. And then she gave up, the strike, and then she gave up the process and she began to eat. So this Sa'd ibn Waqqas radiallahu ta'ala, he comes to Rasulullah in one gathering, he stood up and he said to Prophet or Prophet of Allah, Ud'ullah li and yaj'alani mustajab da'wah. O Prophet of Allah, make dua for me. He said, what should I make for you? He said, make a dua that I become one of those, whose duas are accepted all the time. Who becomes mustajab da'wat. The one who raises his hand, makes a dua, asks Allah, begs Allah, Allah straight away answers his calls. So he said, oh, Prophet Allah, make a dua for me that I become the mustajab da'wat. The one whose duas are responded, whose duas are always answered. So Rasulullah said to him, oh Sa'd, make sure what you eat is halal and lawful. You will become the mustajab da'wat. Is that you eat the morsels which go and which slip into your stomach, make sure they are halal. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, he said, O Sa'd, by him in whose control is the life of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, by him in whose control the life of Muhammad is. He who eats unlawful, the one in whose stomach unlawful morsel goes, his ibadat, his good deeds of next 40 days are not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we eat something unlawful, haram, just today there's a hadith of Prophet, he said, a time will come when people will be so heedless and with regards to their eating and so careless, they will not bother whether they're eating halal or haram. Just 2 days ago, one of the brothers who came to masjid, and he said to me, he was just talking to me, and he mentioned to me, he said, I was invited by some non-Muslims, in somewhere, and he said over there was another famous, well-known in his community from another city or another town, and he said he was there and I was there, and we were offered some drinks and food, and he said they asked me. I said I want just soft drinks, and then he said I saw the Muslim with my own eyes. He asked for wine, and then when the main course came and he said, can I have some pork? He asked for pork, and he said, this young man who was telling me, this brother was telling me, he said, my father told me the next year this person has gone for Hajj. Now there's another hadith Prophet, he said, on the day of judgment, some people will come in the court of Allah with so many deeds. The deeds will be equivalent to the mountain, the Hama. The Hama is the name of a mountain, meaning they will come with abundance of deeds. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make their deeds go just like the flying dust. Will make them go waste. The companions, they asked the Prophet of Allah, why is this going to happen? Why? He said, these very people who will come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with abundance of good deeds, they will be the people who used to offer the prayers in dunya. They were the people who used to fast in dunya. They were the people who performed hajj in dunya. They were the people who, if they were ill, if they were rich, they used to give zakat every year. But إِذَا أُرِيدَ لَهُمْ شَيْءٌ مِّنَ الْحَرَامِ أَخَذُوهُ. But when they were presented something haram to eat, they would not hesitate. They would take it and eat it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, such people's good deeds will be made, go in waste, and these people will be thrown into hellfire. So just imagine how important it is that when we eating this morsel which is going in our stomach, how much how impact it has on our deeds, of our deeds. If we are eating halal, then inshallah we can hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us tawfiq for good deeds. And if we are eating haram, and then we will be doing something which will displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another hadith, Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, he who follows the sunnah of Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he who follows my sunnah, and he who eats halal, and he who does not hurt other people, he will definitely enter paradise. The companions, the Prophet of Allah, this is very common today. People, they eat what is halal. People, they follow your sunnah, and people try not to harm anyone through their arms, through their hands, and their tongues. He said, that's true. But this will also happen in future. In future, some people will come and they will follow my sunnah, and they will eat halal, and they will make sure that people are not hurt by their hands and their tongues. These people will go into Jannah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will admit into paradise. So in this hadith, obviously Sa'd ibn Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said, O Prophet of Allah, you make a dua for me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes me the mustajab dawat. He said, make sure what you eat is halal, and you will become mustajab dawat. Allah will accept all your du'as. So what the lesson we learn from here? The lesson we learn from here is that whatever goes into our stomach, if it is halal, lawful, then inshallah we can hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our ibadah. Just imagine one morsel of haram, it goes into our stomach, then the ibadah of next 40 days is rejected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whichever ibadah you are doing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is accepting your ibadah. So imagine how much we struggle, how much we strive to do our ibadah. And if the ibadah is not accepted, everything goes waste. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, another hadith, nobody says, some people, they strive so much, when they raise their hands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make a dua, they say, oh Allah, Ya Rab, Ya Rab, they say, oh Lord. But he says, how can their dua, the praise answered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the clothes which they are wearing is haram, meaning from haram earning, and their eating is haram, and whatever, and the flesh which is made of haram worship, then how can their du'as be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So a lesson we learn from here, that when we are eating haram, when the stomach is filled with haram, then the du'as are not accepted, our ibadat is not accepted. So we need to, Abdullah ibn Umar on one occasion he said, he who buys a piece of cloth of 10 dirham, for 10 dirham, and out of 10 dirham, 1 dirham, meaning 1 pound, was unlawful. He says, as long as the cloth will be on his body, his ibadat, his praise will be not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what he said then? He said, he pointed at his ears. He said, may these 2 ears become deaf if I did not hear this, what I'm saying to you, from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Meaning, I've heard it from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, when the companion of Prophet says, when he mentioned a Sharia, a ruling, it means that he must have heard it from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Abdullah bin Umar is confirming that I heard it from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that the one who buys a cloth of haram money, then his prayer while he's wearing it, his prayer will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my dear brothers and elders, in this day and age, we should make sure, when we go to a grocery shop or we go to any store to buy something, whether it is, we should check the ingredients, whether it is haram or not haram, or it's halal. We need to make sure that what we are eating is halal, and if it's haram, we should avoid it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our sitting here. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa